Okey, Assalamualaikum dan selamat pagi. Selamat datang ke video saya yang keempat. Ya. So for today, I'm going to talk about normal and binormal vectors. We have normal and binormal vectors. Alright, so now if you consider a curve, alright, let's give a name to this curve. Let's say L. At a particular point, we can find what tangent to it. This is given as a unit tangent, and we have perpendicular to that. This is the unit normal vector. Alright, where if you consider that as a position r as a position vector, as a function of t. Yeah, this is a position vector. Now to get t, we differentiate r, and then with the magnitude of r prime, and as well as to get n, we differentiate t and over t prime. Right. So this is vector unit in tangent and vector unit normal. Now for the binormal, we define that vector binormal, we denote as b, we define as t cross n. So what is the direction of this binormal vector? You can look at those things, t cross n. You can use a right hand rule. So so it pointed to that inside there. So you may consider this, right? So that's a binormal vector. Alright, so I'll give you an example for this. A simple example just to give you an idea how can we calculate tangent, normal and binormal. Alright, example. Let's say we were given a position vector given as let's say cos t, sin t, and t. Then we want to find n and b. Right? So look at the formula that we have. N, we need to find t prime. In order to have t prime, we need r prime, and so which means we need r prime here. So r prime is given as, we have negative sin t, cos t, and 1. Right? And magnitude of r prime, this is cos squared, sin squared, that give you 1, plus 1, you got 2. So this is 2. So therefore our t is 1 over that negative sin t cos t and 1. Okay, now if we differentiate that t prime, so we're going to have, let's see there, then negative sin, you got cos, you got negative sin, and 1 you got 0, and magnitude of t prime, so you can check there. So we have 1, so 1 over SERT2. Okay, now then we can find what n is. So therefore our n is given as t prime over magnitude of t prime, that gives us 1 over SERT2 t prime. That one is negative cos t, negative sin t, and 0. Now to find the binormal b, therefore we can find binormal. Binormal is t times n, so you can write this in the matrix notation, matrix form, or determinant of the matrix. So our t, we have 1 over SERT. To bring it out, our t is that okay, so we have our t, what is t? Negative sin t, cos t, and 0. And n, we also have this, bring it out, so we have cos t, negative cos t, negative sin t, and 0. Alright, so I think we have another one here. So therefore we have 1 over SERT2, that one is, so vector got 0, that sign, oh no, this is 1, sorry, this is 1. So we have sin t, we have cos t, negative cos t, and we have 1. Right. So there's our binormal vector. No, I think this is just 1, so we have square root over there. Okay, so that's all for now. Bye.